A reading from 2 Timothy 2:14 through 16. A worker approved by God. Remind them of this and charge them before the Lord to avoid disputing about words, which does no good, but only ruins the hearers. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a workman who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. Avoid such godless chatter, for it will lead people into more and more ungodliness, and their talk will eat its way like gangrene. Among them are Hymenaeus and Philetus, who have swerved from the truth by holding that the resurrection is past already. They are upsetting the faith of some. But God's firm foundation stands, bearing this seal. The Lord knows those who are his, and let everyone who names the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. In a great house, there are not only vessels of gold and silver, but also of wood and earthenware, and some for noble use and some for ignoble. If anyone purifies himself from what is ignoble, then he will be a vessel for noble use, consecrated and useful to the master of the house, ready for any good work. So, shun youthful passions and aim at righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call upon the Lord from a pure heart. Have nothing to do with stupid, senseless controversies. You know that they breed quarrels. And the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but kindly to everyone, an apt teacher, forbearing, correcting his opponents with gentleness. God may perhaps grant that they will repent and come to know the truth, and they may escape from the snare of the devil after being captured by him to do his will.
Okay, Thursday, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope we've survived the week thus far and are moving and grooving upwards and onwards. Oltrea et Sucia. So today we're still in this is Paul's second letter to Timothy chapter 2. We're continuing on with reading Paul's advice to Timothy in a very dark days and a dark landscape. And writing to him today about him in particular being an overseer of the church or a bishop in Ephesus and just encouraging him and giving him some life advice. The first is with regard to language, words, having custody of his tongue and being careful about the things which he speaks. And so we hear that. He talks about names two people in particular who have not been careful, who have spread vile rumors about our Lord already returning. And the assumption is that with judgment, like, well, our Lord's returned and you know about it, so guess what? You're not saved. So there's rumors and gossip and then he also warns them about not getting involved in things he shouldn't get involved in, like with all the civil unrest and all that, and societal ills, to keep focused on the good news of God and Jesus Christ, or to have custody of the tongue. And so that's one of our two jumping off points for today is oftentimes we bring more, oftentimes I bring more difficulty on myself by speaking poorly when I'm walking through those dark days or having difficult situations, belly aching, moping, moaning, speaking ill of people instead of seeing the good in others, a little backbiting, a little criticism, things like that. And Paul warns that sort of stuff is gangrenous, or it causes rot. It causes rot in the community, causes rot in your own life, and to be very careful. Paul is very aware of the power of words. I've been reading a lot of stuff on the cancel culture, like where one person says something bad and the whole social media erupts and tries to destroy that person. You can see how powerful words are. Something someone said 20 years ago can be used to totally destroy them now. And then also you can see all the infighting and backbiting and things like that around that don't do anything to build up, but really is gangrenous. It causes rot and causes the community to rot and to fall apart. And that happens in our own personal lives and in our collective lives. So ponder how you use your words. Ponder what you speak, how you speak of other people. Do you get involved in controversies and things like that that have nothing to do with eternity or nothing to do with the greater good of you or others? That's our first point. And the second thing, he talks about being a vessel consecrated. In the big house, there are a number of vessels, those of priceless gold and silver and those of earthen pottery. And he talks about noble and ignoble pottery and consecrating yourself as a vessel to the Lord. And that always makes me think of, I guess especially here in the South, which is so overrun with fear of, suspicion of, sort of mystical parts of religion. In other parts of the world, blessing things is not that weird. Here, some of the things I do are foreign to the culture around. I remember in particular there was a group of a family who was trying desperately to get back home. They didn't weren't of means, and their car, it wasn't guaranteed to make it, and so before they left to go to Mexico, they saw me on Fifth Avenue out in front of the church, stopped by and asked if I would bless their car. And the old blessing of cars and chariots and horse-drawn carriages first speaks of God's redemption and saving of Moses and the Israelites, and drowning the chariots into the sea, and asking protection of that chariot, and then also asking protection and blessing of the car as it travels through a dark and dangerous world, that it might protect those inside from danger and harm and ill fates. Then it also asks that by the use of that car, that they be reminded of Christ's love and blessing on them. And then it also finally asks God's grace be bestowed upon the vehicle and all who enter there. And so, so nothing really wrong with that, but it is foreign. So when Paul tells Timothy about being that consecrated vessel, what that means is in church life, Jewish and Christian, when you consecrated, blessed something, you set it apart from the world specifically for the use of worshiping God or for God's use. And so you would set that aside, and it would become holy in that way. God's grace would pour down upon the vessel. The vessel would be set apart, not to carry Jim Beam for a Friday night party or whatever, but solely for the use and purpose of worshiping God, or for the things of God's house. And so that's what Paul is telling Timothy, to consecrate yourself. So use your own vessel, your body, only for things that are for worship or glorification of God, and to allow that grace of God to pour into your vessel, that it may fill it and you may be a light to other people. So it's an intentional thing where you set yourself apart from worldly things and focus entirely on the things of God, and use what you have entirely for the worship and glorification, edification of God and others. And so that's another good piece of advice when you're going through a really hard time, when there's a lot of distractions and things that can pull you down, drag you away, that seek your time, that are not of God. Don't forget, the idea of consecrating yourself and separating yourself and setting yourself apart from those things that tear you down, that tear others down. And it's being intentional about that. It's not being sort of, well, let's do this and let's see where the wind blows, but it's changing the course and manner of your life. And if it does not glorify God, if it does not edify people and bring them closer to God, then it's not something we should be about. And so that's the advice Paul has, continued advice Paul has for Bishop Timothy, and really for us. When we hit grim days, dark days, when we hit just regular days, that words matter, and they have a power, and they can cause tremendous amounts of rot and discord, more so than sticks and stones and all that kind of stuff. Despite what the little saying is, words are one of the most powerful things that can break people apart. That can cause rot and decay and darkness. So be careful. Be careful what you speak, how you speak, what you speak of. And the second is, look at yourself, ask God to consecrate you, or offer yourself as that vessel consecrated to God, and don't be about the things that aren't of God. Be intentional about that, and that helps us stay a right course, grow in holiness, keep peace and joy and love alive in us in grim days and in uncertain times. So that's the thoughts for today. So have a good Thursday. Love one another. Say your prayers. Be kind. And God bless you. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.